So it's 1 o'clock. Let's give others to join 1 more minute, then we can start our webinar.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. So before we get started, I just want to remind everyone, would you please mute yourself during the presentation? Okay, it's 1:01. Let's get started. Welcome everyone to a pollution prevention webinar series. Today our webinar is about understanding organization pollution prevention while pursuing a green certification, the case of the US EPA Safer Choice standards. So this webinar is hosted by the Center of Sustainable Energy and Environmental Engineering at East Carolina University and EPA Pollution Prevention Program and Source Reduction Assistance. So what we do in this program, it's on-site energy and lean assessment, regional and on-site P2 energy training, regional workshop, technical and engineering support, cash flow and market analysis, return on investment. My name is Carol Masarra. I am an assistant professor at the Department of Construction Management, and I am also the director of the Coastal Resilience Cluster in the center. Today, our presentation by Mr. Angel Cruz, a background about the presenter, but before that, the speaker is not associated with the certification or any commercial brand mentioned during the conversation. This presentation only provides educational information. So Mr. Angel is receiving his PhD from Portland State University, where he is focusing on engineering technology management. He received his BS in industrial engineering and his MS in regional development and technology from the Institute of Technology in Mexico. He is teaching assistant at PSU ETM department, executive director of the Portland International Center for Management of Engineering and Technology, and pollution prevention intern at the Pollution Prevention Resource Center. Angel has been working on safer choice projects with companies and organizations since 2020. These projects are related to technical assistance, training, outreach, and educational webinars in Spanish. So, Mr. Angel, it's your turn, and you can start.
Uh, Thank you so much for that great introduction. So my name is Angel Contreras Cruz, and today I'm going to talk about understanding pollution prevention while pursuing green certification. So before jumping to the presentation today, um, as you listened in the introduction, I have been working with Safer Choice projects in some way or another. So my first experience with the Safer Choice certification was during a job interview back in 2020. So the person that interviewed me asked me like, okay, all the information that you provided sounds great, but what do you know about the Safer Choice standard? So I didn't know anything about Safer Choice back in that time. So I had to learn about the certification. I had to understand the standard by itself. And after that, well, I was able to participate in some different projects. So that certification was new for me back in 2020. And after that, it has been like a learning process because every time that I collaborate with one project, there is always like a new learning. So that's a very interesting story for me. So next slide, please. So today I'm representing one of the organizations with I work with, Pollution Prevention Resource Center, or PPRC. So PPRC is a non-profit, non-enforcement or non-regulatory agency. So many of our environmental services are free to Oregon businesses. PPRC work as a bridge between government projects and organizations. So we help organizations or businesses to achieve their environmental goals. So among those projects, we have a certification assistance program to obtain the EPA Safer Choice label. Sorry, uh, while we provide technical assistance to those companies that are interested to pursue the Safer Choice certification. Next slide, please. So this is part of the work that I have been doing since I joined PPRC back in July 2022. So we recruit Oregon cleaning products manufacturers that are interested to pursue this certification by providing technical assistance and also financial support. We provide Safer Choice webinars in English and Spanish. I am in charge of providing those webinars in Spanish, since Spanish is my native language. So we train uh, people that is working in the cleaning industry and also owners of those businesses on how to purchase safer cleaning products. We have been partnering with some nonprofit organizations to have these webinars, and in places like California, here in Oregon, and we're doing some work in order to expand our efforts in a more regional or national level. Next slide, please. So, well, now let's start. Uh, as we know, cleaning plays an important role in our human health. Uh, we do, I mean, we clean our floors, we wash our veggies and fruit, we take showers, we even shower our pets. But every of those activities has an environmental impact. For example, when we wash our vegetables, let's say, we have some input that is going to be water and it's going to be soap or disinfectant. So the output is going to be soapy water that is going to run through the drain, and it can potentially harm the environment, especially if the products that we use at home contain some toxic chemicals. Next slide, please. So I would like to mention this before going to straight to the topic. So by defining what is an standard, well, there are several definitions of standards, but a good one that can fit the presentation for today is that standards contain technical specifications or criteria about how to do products or services. So these these standards are the result of scientific evidence or work developed by governments or organizations, industry, or any other type of group of interest. let's say, for example, that 10 companies that manufacture cleaning products agree, so they develop a standard, and all of these companies that are partnering are gonna follow the standard in order to do their products in the same way. So these concepts are applicable to green certification. So it's important for customers to understand and also have the right to know what ingredients are present in each product that they use either at home or they use at work. So I think having the right to know what information is it's really important in order to consider the the product that we are going to use and we are going to purchase. Next slide, please. So here are some examples of green certifications. In one side, you can see some examples of certifications for cleaning products. So Safer Choice is administered by the US EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, but there are others certifications that have or like have similar characteristics, like for example, Green Seal or Ecologo. And also there are some certifications that are used to disinfectant products, uh, like the one that is on the right side, and it's called Design for the Environment. So this certification it's kind of similar to Safer Choice, but this is only applicable for disinfectant products. Next slide, please. Okay, so it's important to understand that when we use cleaning products, there is a potential risk. So it's important to learn how to read the labels of the products that we use at home or the products that we use at work. For example, if the labels contain like the word poison or danger on the label, it's like a red flag. So it's recommended to try to avoid the use of these products because they represent a harm for you or for your family. Uh, if the product contains the label caution or warning, that means that this product can be somewhat harmful. So it is, I mean, it's not recommended to use as well. So if the product that you are going to use doesn't have these words, it's safe enough to use. But if you see, for example, these labels that we show you, Safer Choice, that means that these products are the safest that are in the market. Next slide, please. So, but what is Safer Choice? Okay, Safer Choice, it's a voluntary program that it's run by the US Environmental Protection Agency. Uh, the, the program used to be called Design for the Environment, but back in 2015, it changed to its current name, Safer Choice. And it was the label was redesigned, sorry, the label was redesigned and suffered some changes. And I mean, this program by itself, it's been like that since 2015. So Safer Choice help consumer businesses and users to find products that are safer for human health, for the environment, and also for our pets. So there are about or more than 2,000 products that are Safer Choice certified. So there are different type of categories of products that you can find. For example, disinfectant, oh no, sorry, degreasers, uh, soaps for dish soaps or clothes soap. I mean, the there are different categories. So it is very likely that you are going to find like a product that is safer choice for the needs that you have at home or at your workplace. Sorry. Next slide, please. Okay, so
No
this
worries.
program
It's about safer choice.
uh, is there
So
is there any is there any question there?
Does anyone have any question? Please make sure that you mute your microphone during the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, no questions. Let's continue. Okay, so this program, it's a considered a pollution prevention program. Why? Because this P2 uh, approach is a practice that looks to reduce, eliminate, or prevent pollution at its source before it's created. So if you can see here in this like kind of like pyramid, uh, the most preferable scenario is when you prevent pollution. I mean, that's the most desired scenario. However, uh, I mean, there is a need for this type of products, right? We we cannot avoid the use of these cleaning products for our health or for our daily life. So it's important to meet this specific waste management hierarchy in order to either reduce, eliminate, or prevent. So it really depends of the different type of ingredients and supplies that we are going to use for our products. So these ingredients and these supplies needs to meet a specific criteria for the Safer Choice program in order to qualify. So there are two aspects that these uh, products needs to meet. So they need to be more cost effective, and also they are intended to reduce pollution. So we are going to do more explanation in the following slides. So next slide, please. So there are two levels that product formulators needs to meet in order to obtain the Safer Choice certification. So the first one is ingredient level, and the second one is product level. So for ingredient level, all those ingredients needs to be safe for humans, and also needs to be safe for the environment. And for product level, uh, when product formulators submit or do a request for a review of their products, they need to meet a specific criteria for either performance, packaging, and also they need to do an ingredient disclosures because customers need need to know or have the right to know all the ingredients that each certified product contains. Next slide, please. So the Safer Choice program has a two different ingredient lists that identify chemical ingredients that are safe for human use. In one side, we have uh, the blue-green organizations that administer the clean ingredients. So clean ingredients, it's a pre-approved list of safer ingredients that can be used in order to achieve the Safer Choice certification. And also, the Safer Choice program has a list called Safer Chemical Ingredient List, where they have a huge list of chemicals that are pre-approved in order, they are already approved to use as a Safer Choice products. Next slide, please. So here we are going to present this is like a theoretical process or representation of the certification process. So each project has different steps. For example, this certification process has the first one, which called planning. After that is profiling, assessing, decision, partnership, and auditing. So there are three main specific stakeholders. The first one, for sure, is the product product formulator. The second one is the Safer Choice representatives or authorities. And the third one is it's called third-party profiler, which is the lab that is gonna do a comprehensive review of each specific ingredient present in product formulations. So this is just like a representation of the process. In the following slides, we are gonna try to connect like the process with the key activities where the pollution prevention it's been identified. So next slide, please. So let's say that for product formulators, there are four scenarios depending on the product that they intend to certify. For example, in the first scenario, the product by itself meet the criteria of the Safer Choice standard. So, for example, like a company create like a product without knowing the Safer Choice standard, but they use ingredients that can potentially be qualify as a safer ingredients. This is a scenario that is not very likely to happen, but I mean it can happen, but the probability is very low. The second scenario, it's a new product development. So this is a scenario that is more likely to happen when product formulators design a new product using pre-approved ingredients from either Safer Choice chemical list or clean ingredients. The third scenario, it's also very likely to happen. It's when product formulators need to replace an ingredient of an existing product in order to comply with the Safer Choice standard. So this scenario, it's very, very likely to happen. And basically, a scenario one, a scenario two, and a scenario three can move to a scenario three in some point during the certification process. And the fourth scenario, it's a review of an existing product for future compliance. So a company submit the product as it is without knowing or without understanding the Safer Choice criteria. And after a complete assessment of the formulation, the third-party profiler is going to make a recommendation. So it can happen that a scenario one turn into a scenario one. But I mean, as I said, a scenario one and a scenario four are they have very low probabilities to obtain the Safer Choice certification. A scenario two and a scenario three are the ones that have the largest probabilities. So next slide, please. So here is an example of how this how the Safer Choice scenario can work. So let's take the scenario four. So a product formulator has a soap called Soap X. So there are four different ingredients: water, coconut oil, lard, and glycerin. For water, I mean, it's a pre-approved ingredient for safer choice. So the criteria is gonna be like color green, a circle dot with color green. So it's a good ingredient to use. For coconut oil, it's the same. If you can please click in the slides. Okay, yeah, it's gonna appear like the search that I did for those ingredients in the safer choice ingredient list. So for example, lard is not identified as a safer ingredient. So this chemical might not be acceptable for use in products that are candidates for the safer choice label. So as I mentioned, this scenario can move to scenario 3 because it needs to reformulate the, the, the product formulation. However, lard it's a very complex fatty of fat that have different type of chemicals. So after a complete assessment, it can qualify, but I mean, it's not 100% sure. It also really depends of the specific use that this ingredient is gonna have in the product formulation. But I mean, this is just an example to see how the assessment of the safer choice uh, potential product works. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay. So now here, uh, as you can see in the boxes that are in color green, is where the pollution prevention can happen. In the sorry, in the second part, when once the decision is made, if the companies want to pursue the safer choice certification, so the decision makers of a company can can uh, can agree to either submit their product as it is, or also start to reformulate one of the ingredients that they have. Also, in activity 4, the pollution prevention can happen because once the product formulation is submitted for a review, it also the application also needs to have all the information of the packing supplies that are used, and also, for example, like plastic bottles, uh, cardboard that is used during the packing process. So it's important that the product formulation work with all the suppliers, and they need to inform that they are going to pursue the certification. So each supplier needs to demonstrate that they are working towards an environmental practice. They need to have like a written statement where these suppliers can demonstrate that they are achieving some environmental goals. So that's why I put that box activity 4 in color green. Also, in the next slide, I'm gonna talk about a little bit more explanation about that. Okay. So for example, we have the list of ingredients. This is the way in this table. It's an example of how product formulators can submit the products. So they need to identify each ingredient that is present in the product formulator along with their CAS number, chemical name, trade name, alternative name, it's available, minimum and maximum percentage of concentration of that ingredient, what is the ingredient class, and also they need to provide the information of each specific supplier. Uh, For example, if you are using a, let's say, coconut oil, and you have like 3 or 4 different suppliers of that ingredient, you need to put the name of each specific supplier in that ingredient in that table. Sorry. So one of the strategies that we have seen is that uh, the number of suppliers that you have, that can increase the financial investment, because the third-party profiler is gonna evaluate uh, each ingredient from a, a different suppliers. So they are gonna do, for example, 4 different assessments for coconut oil. So next slide, please. Well, I think we still have some time before. I want to make sure to have some time to have some questions and answers. But in these 2 following slides, we're gonna share some stories of success. If you go, I mean, this is public information. If you go to the Safer Choice website, there is a link that is called Partners of the Year. So in that page, companies share their stories or the practices that they are doing in order to achieve the Safer Choice certification, or going beyond that those requirements. For example, the company called Dirty Labs, they switch, or they are using aluminum bottles and aluminum cups instead of using plastic bottles. So the recycle process requires less energy. So by doing that, they are reducing their environmental impact. Another example is Ecos. So this company has like, by the way, I just learned that they are the largest company that have the, sorry, they are the company that has the larger number of Safer Choice certified products. So they have like waste reduction strategies in order to reduce their carbon dioxide emissions. So this is not required, but these companies are doing like other strategies in order to achieve the environmental goals. Next slide, please. There is also the case of Grove Company. For example, they have like a dedication to reduce plastic waste. So they just launched 4 new Safer Choice products that are sold in glass bottles. So instead of using plastic, they are using glass. So glass, it's the process to recycle glass. It's, let's say, a little bit less challenging that recycling plastic bottles. And the last example is Hollyway House, that they have a program to upgrade their lights so they can reduce the use of energy in their process. And also they are having, they are part of a recycle program where they are recycling cardboard. So I remember that when I participate in one of those Safer Choice projects, so these 2 initiatives were kind of similar to the ones that we were trying to implement. Instead of having regular lights, we were doing like some work in order to qualify for a solar panels. And also we work with the authorities of the city where I live, in order to learn how to recycle effectively cardboard and other, I remember it's called like aluminum pads, electrical pads. So they are made from aluminum, and they used to be just thrown away. So we talked with some recycling agencies, and they said, "Oh no, we can recycle this for sure." So by doing these practices, we contribute to reduce pollution. So next slide, please. Just wrapping up, I think that it's important for customers having the right to know, like what ingredients are present in the products that we use to clean our houses. Uh, Manufacturers of those products play an important role to reduce pollution. If they decided to pursue a green certification, there are some specific tasks that they can use in order to reduce pollution. So it's important to train other businesses in order to understand the benefits of pursuing a green certification. And also, I think as supporting evidence, some cases of study are needed in order to combine economic and environmental benefits of those companies that pursue green certification in order to increase awareness for them. So it's what I have for today. So I want to have some time for questions and answers. I mean, if this information is useful for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So here is my email, my LinkedIn page, so you can send me an invitation and we can talk about this topic. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the great presentation. Any question from the audience? So we have, okay, great presentation, Angel. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you do. This
Oh,
is in
thank
the
you.
chat from Kim.
Mariana Felix Kim,
Mariana.
thank you. Mariana Felix Kim, she works for the Safer Choice program. We have been working together. Mariana has been like a great contact person that is always supporting our work. And thank you, Mariana, for being here.
Any other question from the audience? You can unmute yourself and ask the question. Or you can write it in the chat, whatever you want. I have a question. So,
Sure.
okay, so let me first see what we have in the chat. Do you have a list of safer choice products for food manufacturers?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, Safer Choice is just for cleaning products. However, there are some food ingredients that are used to formulate cleaning products. For example, coconut oil, olive oil, and those kind of ingredients. So, I mean, if you like, you can send me an email. I mean, if this is like a topic that you would like to explore, so we can provide you more information. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if you go to Safer Choice, there is an like a link there, so where you can find all the ingredients that are recognized as a Safer Choice ingredient list. So you can go and check that. But also, if you want to send me an email, I can provide you more information for sure.
Okay, another question. Can cannabis companies apply for safer choice program?
Okay, that's a really good question, and I don't have the answer for that. Uh, I think in order there is an option where companies that want to develop like new products that are not in the current categories, they need to go through a process to work with the EPA, with the EPA Safer Choice program. But I don't have that answer. I mean, I just can provide like the knowledge that I have, but I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no. So this is this a question that sorry, I'm not able to give you the right answer.
Okay, another question, is PPPC available in Pennsylvania?
PPRC, we have, we
RC,
work
I'm sorry.
in different states. We have some representatives in California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Alaska. I don't think we are in Pennsylvania, but you can send me an email and I can try to identify any other like or like a similar organization that is doing this type of work, and I can pass you the information.
Okay, any other questions? So I have a question. So
Sure.
in your last slide, you said that educating or it is important for customer having right to know. So do you provide like workshops for customers?
Yes, so those safer choice webinars that we do in English and Spanish, so we go and cover like a different variety of topics. So we explain what ingredients, I mean, are not safe for human health. So if you see the label, uh, and the label contains, for example, the word danger or caution, I mean, try to avoid those products. Um, and also we do like a recommendation of other products that you try to avoid that might include some harmful chemicals. So that's the goal of our educational webinars. So provide some information for those users of or customers that sometimes, I mean, I would say I don't have like a background in chemistry, so I don't know how to read like all the label. Like if,
Mm-hmm.
for example, if the product have like coconut oil, and if the manufacturer puts like the chemical name, I mean, you are like, oh, what is this ingredient? So what's the function in the product? So I think that's why purchasing a certified product, or by purchasing a certified product, the third-party profilers and the agency or that grants that certification do that work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So they learn how to interpret the ingredients, the functional class. I mean, you don't need to worry at all when you purchase one of these certified products. It doesn't mean that you are gonna go and like with blind eyes grab that product,
Right.
but they do the work for you in order to have like a or to ease the decision to purchase some products.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? You. So no questions in the chat. So it seems that we do not have any questions from the audience. Okay, with this, we conclude our webinar for today. Thank you so much for your time and for the great information.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.